And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Thursday, March 9th. I am Josh Engleman here to break down a 6-game NBA slate coming off of just absolute disgusting yesterday. Oklahoma City, Phoenix, just a disaster of a game in all facets. Down goes Luka, down goes Brandon Ingram. Just not fun. Not fun. Yeah, big gritter. I think Ingram would have got that as well. He was off to a very good start. I think we were trending for a 5 of 5. And instead we went 3-0 on Prize Picks, which I'll take it. I'll take it. No complaints. What are you going to do? I'm tired, folks. I'm tired. No coffee yet. That's coming after this show. But what are we going to do? We're going to break down these games. We could take our time today. We could actually go through everything. No big rush. But yesterday's slate was legit gross. I woke up and opened up that box score for Phoenix and OKC, and it's just comical. Booker dropping 44 and 40 whatever in 20-something minutes. Just disastrous. I tried to get to more. When I went to late swap, I only got to like 28% Booker. Not that it would have made a difference. I got creamed either way. But I only got to like 28% Booker. But when I ran my crunch as my prep crunch, if it were pre-lock, I would have had like 60%. So it was kind of a bummer. My daughter's friend dates Isaiah Joe. I have some words for him later today. I mean, I don't even necessarily blame Joe. He was fine in his minutes. Just like, they just cast a wide net. But I had a ton of Brandon Ingram. That obviously stunk. Luka had a pretty solid first quarter, but I mean, he was wincing in the first minute of the game. Adam and I both took stands on Joval. He got a foul on the tip. He had a personal foul before a second had come off the clock. And then he immediately got another one 2 minutes in and then didn't play again in the first half, which was just real special. Great to see. Everything that I touched yesterday was awful. That's how bad it got. So, what are you going to do? Let's break down some basketball, folks. What do you say? Again, no coffee to cheers with. I got a water. I got cheers with a water today. Hit that like button, by the way. 50 plus people in here. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. All that good stuff. And if you're watching and you haven't used our lineup generator yet, you should do it. Banner's at the top of the screen. Link in the description. We're generating thousands and thousands of lineups for the slate. We throw away everything that we think is garbage, and we let you flip through everything else. You can pick between chalky lineups, balanced lineups, contrarian lineups, lock players if you want, export up to 20 lineups via CSV. We're taking a step out of it here. We're providing you with the goods, and there are countless lineups, thousands of lineups that can be deemed to be good for a slate, but there are infinitely more that are bad that get made. We're getting rid of the bad. So let's get into it, though. Let's get into it. Eric, I probably do need a beer, honestly. Probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But we're going to break down some basketball. Let's get into it right now. I'm going to move this view around just a little bit. We're going to take that off. We're going to drop down. And we'll start with game number 1. And that is going to be, hold on, give me 1 second. There we go. Nope, I got to move another window around. How do I do this? This and like this. Perfect. Now we're good. I didn't play golf. No golf for me. No time yesterday. Let's get into Charlotte. Hornets are 3-point favorites in Detroit, 226 total. Okay, so this should be a real treat. Cody Martin still out for Charlotte. Everybody else that's normally available is available. So this one actually isn't going to be all that bad, at least projecting Charlotte's rotation. We're getting, 36 minutes a night out of Terry Rozier, potentially more. He's been so bad Honestly, I guess I should make that 37. He's played 38, 38, 37, 36 and a half, and 38. If I make it 37, I'll get even more Rozier. So let's just skip that for today. 37 for Oubre. I'm also going to make that 36. That just seems to make more sense. PJ Washington has been back for 2 games. I think 32 minutes for PJ Washington is probably correct, but we'll see if we have any extra time when we get done. 28 to Mark Williams, 20 to Nick Richards. Yeah, probably. Maybe go 27 down to Mark Williams. Yeah, we'll go 27 Mark Williams. I can't go that many minutes to Nick Richards, though. But they do, because, like, there's going to be an extra minute somewhere, at least. At least there usually is. So I'm going to leave him at 20. That's where I can get the extra PJ Washington minute, get him up to 33. We got Gordon Hayward. He's playing 34 minutes a night. Should certainly get him 1 extra minute. I don't care about JT Thor. I don't care all that much about Bryce McGowan's. DSJ in for 24. We'll make that 25. Rates all stay the same. We've kind of established this team already. It's such a big usage rate for Terry Rozier. That's what's going to be the problem. Yeah, Larry. KD was about to take a layup, rolled his ankle, slipped on the floor. It was not great. But it didn't happen later in warmups. Would have been even harder to swap off of. All right, now we go to Detroit. And this is where we got to deal with nonsense. So Killian Hayes is probable. Jalen Duren is probable. No Boyan, no Beef Stew, no Alec Burks. So let's do our best to figure this out. Who do we think is starting now that Duren is back? So we're going to get Hayes, Ivy. Oh, God. Probably Livers, Bagley, Duren, right? I guess that makes the most sense. So we'll start it off. We'll go. Oh, man. I hate that this game exists. This is just such a not fun game to project. So we haven't had Killian Hayes. He missed Monday and Tuesday. I mean, I'm going to go 29 minutes to Hayes. And then we're going to go 30 to Jaden Ivey. Can't trust them otherwise. Livers played big minutes with no Boyan, no Hayes, no Diallo, no Stewart, no Duren. I don't know how big those minutes are going to be this time, but we're at least going to 30. And we get Marvin Bagley in at the 4. He's playing, let's say, 29 minutes. And then we get Duren back starting. I'm going to go 24-24, Duren and Wiseman. Don't have a great feel there, that's for sure. Now we need to start thinking about the rest of the guys that are playing. Since we don't have Burks, Corey Joseph is basically going to be the backup point guard, I assume. That's one guy that's done pretty quickly. We got 30 minutes out of Magruder the last time out. Have to assume he's going to continue to get a decent chunk of time. So we're going to give Magruder the backup run at the 4. Actually, no, that's going to end up being Omer Yuri. Give him 19. Give Magruder 18. And then I didn't know that Diallo was done. Like, is that 18 to Hampton? Is he the only guy left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they only have 10 guys unless Buddy Boeheim and Jared Rhoden are available. So I'm going to give RJ Hampton 18 minutes as well. And I'm going to say that this is the rotation for the Pistons. It's possible that they get those G League guys in and that Buddy Boeheim and Jared Rhoden play. But for right now, I'm going to assume that they're not there. So, oh man, this team is just straight gross. I need to get a usage rate for Jalen Duren. So let's take a look at the Pistons. And when we do that, we got to take off Bojan Bogdanovic, Sadiq Bey, and Cade Cunningham. We get those guys off. Oop, that's not the way that I wanted to say that. You guys get the drill. Jalen Duren, 15.5% usage rate with those guys off the floor. We've already got Ivy in for... Oh, no, I got to change a bunch of these rates, actually. So let's take out everybody's usage rate. So with those three guys off, the guy that's played the most is Diallo. So I'm actually going to take Diallo off as well. Now that's really going to limit the sample. Yeah, that takes me down to very minimal amounts of playing time. So what I'm going to do is allow that only one of those guys can be on the floor. That should open me up a little bit more for a slightly bigger sample. So Hayes is around a 21% usage rate. And then Ivy is at 25.5. Duren, I'm going to come down a little bit to 14.5. And then Wiseman, 194 minutes, 21% usage rate. So that'll work. And then finally Bagley. Bagley, 574 minutes, almost a 22% usage rate. I feel pretty good there. Those rates came together a little bit better than I was expecting. Hayes, I think, can hold there. Ivy can hold there. Rebounding, I'm not super worried about. We're not going to have the right kind of sample with the way that these guys have been playing. Wiseman, kind of himself pulling down boards. Marvin Bagley has been himself pulling down boards. I'm afraid to look at this game to see what we like. I'm really, really, really afraid to see this. So here we go. Game number 1, Hornets Pistons. Okay, so far, it's Killian Hayes for the Pistons that looks the best. He's a guy that I think you probably need to prioritize for today. I think he's going to be pretty popular at 5,400. And look, I only gave him 29 minutes, but this is a pace-up spot. He's close to a fantasy point per minute guy. I think you have to be there if you think the minutes are real. Now, if you think the minutes aren't real, you can bump him down a little bit. If you want to go 28, you know what? In fact, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go 28-20 on Corey Joseph and Killian Hayes. We're still going to like Hayes quite a bit. He's still a priority for sure. Let's bring that down a notch. And then Marvin Bagley and Jalen Duren are the two guys that I'd be most interested in otherwise. I don't have much interest in Livers. I don't have much interest in Jaden Ivey or Wiseman or RJ Hampton. It's Hayes 1 and then Bagley and Duren sort of tied for second, depending on what you're looking for. Charlotte might look amazing. Ooh, okay. So $8,200 Terry Rozier. Look, it stings, but you gotta go there today. I've had so much of Terry Rozier over these past few games. I don't think today is a day where you can change it, even at 8,200. Just because of this matchup against the Pistons, it's too good. It's way too good. And then Mark Williams still for 6K, even at 27 minutes. He's just a really good point per minute guy in this spot. But for Charlotte, we're really casting a wide net. Oubre, Hayward, Washington, Dennis Smith Jr., Nick Richards, all those guys are certainly viable roster pieces in a 6-game slate. But Rozier, Mark Williams, and Killian Hayes are the 3 best options you can get from this game. None of that is fun to say out loud. Oh, God, we got Houston, Indy, too, and Utah, Orlando, and Golden State, Memphis. This is a wild slate. Houston is 9.5-point dogs in Indy. 235 total. This isn't fun either. Not even close. So for Houston, no KPJ. Otherwise, everybody else is in. So we've seen that a lot as of late. So let's get Houston projected. Let's get KPJ out of there. Oh, God, this team, man. No Ivy. I'm not all that interested in Ivy, no. So We're going to get Jalen Green in for... Man, he played 37 minutes on Tuesday. Why? I guess we're going to go 32 to Jalen Green. I want to scratch everything that's in this rotation. Just make it a little bit easier. Oh, what's going on in Brooklyn, Milwaukee? I don't even want to know. We'll find out shortly. We're going to get Jayshawn Tate out there playing, 24 minutes? 26 minutes, maybe? Yeah, 26 minutes. Then we'll go and get Kenyon Martin in for his 32. We'll get Jabari Smith in for his 30. And we get Şengün in for his 30. After Şengün, we go to Garuba. Oh, they didn't go to Boban this most recent time. Interesting. So we get 11 minutes in there for Usman Garuba. I feel like I need 2 extra minutes somewhere, but we're just going to give them to Jabari Smith. That lets me get 25 minutes here for Tari Eason, plus another 3, takes him to 28. Actually, Knicks hasn't played, but he was active in the games when KPJ was still out. So I think we're going to get Knicks back. We're going to say that he plays 20. Josh Christopher goes in for 20 as well. 18. We'll go 18. And that leaves me 13 minutes for who? Does Ty Washington come back in? I don't know. I don't think it goes to a center. Maybe I can leave those 4 minutes for Frank Kaminsky, and then I'm going to throw 9 on the Ty Washington. That's going to be Houston. Although I guess I do need to take Kmart off. How big is our sample? Or not Kmart, Kevin Porter Jr. How big is that sample? So if we take Eric Gordon off and KPJ off, and then we talk about Jalen Green, Alperen Şengün, Jabari Smith. Let's say at least 2 of those guys are on the floor. That should be a decent enough sample. Oh, yeah, we're up in the 300s. That should be fine. All right, Şengün, 22% usage rate. That works. Jabari Smith is at 20. I'll get him because I always do. Jayshawn Tate is at 15.5. Cut him down a bit. Jalen Green is at 31 and change. And Martin is at 17, so I could leave him there. And then Tari Eason, 19. That'll work. Now, I do need to make one quick tweak to the assist rate for Jalen Green. I assume, no, doesn't go up as much as I thought it would. Şengün also doesn't. So that's going to be Houston. Come on, Indy. Don't have anything dumb. Be a normal team today. Be a normal team today. Q tag on Nesmith, and then that's it. I can handle that. Now, they did complicate matters by going to Jalen Smith again. Isaiah Jackson got minimal run on Monday. That was pretty annoying. So we got 31 minutes in there for Turner. I'm going to make that 30, but I can't give the full run to Isaiah Jackson. I can't even give it to Jalen Smith either, so I'm going to go 12 and 6. 24 minutes for Jordan Nwora. Might be a little high. 34 for Halliburton. Certainly needs to go up. Let's get him to 35. Nesmith has missed the last 2, but that was a back-to-back. So I got to assume that he's playing and then going back into his 22 minutes a night. Remove minutes from O'Shea Brissett. And then we've got Duarte in for 22. Seems okay. 28 for Mathurin. 23 for Nemhard. 30 for Buddy Hield. Make it 22 for Nemhard. And then we're going to make it 20 for Duarte and 20 for Wara. There's not going to be a lot to like here for Indy. There's too many dudes playing 24 minutes. Yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting. So Halliburton, Hield, Turner, and Mathurin all look very, very, very similar. They're all basically like 5x your value right now. So that's not a lot to write home about. Not too worried about Halliburton, Hield, Turner, Mathurin. On the Houston side, though, yeah, Jalen Green is the best play we've looked at so far. 6,400 point guard, shooting guard. Hard to not get him in a lot of things. It's the great matchup. It's no KPJ. Jalen Green's what you're looking for. But $7,400 Şengün, $5,600 Tari Eason both look really nice. Jabari Smith and Jayshawn Tate kind of look like all of the Indiana guys. So we really need to get to a lot of Houston, which is just unpleasant to say. This slate is going to be so gross. It's going to be so incredibly gross. Let's go to Utah. Jazz are 3-point dogs in Orlando, 232 total. What do we got going on for the Jazz here? Utah, no Colin Sexton, Q tag on Jordan Clarkson, Q tag on Walker Kessler. They both missed their game on Tuesday. Kessler's is an illness. I'm not making any changes to this Utah rotation, though. I'm leaving. I got Clarkson in. I'm leaving him in. I am going to take a minute off of him, though. Take him down to 33. What's happening here? There we go. 33, 11. I'm going to leave Kessler in for his 30. We're going to leave Olynyk in for his 30. Damian Jones is the backup. You know, Chris Dunn and Talen Horton-Tucker out there playing a little bit alongside each other. So I think we're good with Utah's rotation. And then similarly, my guess is Orlando looks fine. No Wendell Carter Jr., left hip pain. That one's actually important. So if we get no Wendell Carter Jr., we do know that we will get Mo Wagner, who I assume is going to look like at least a decent value play unless they've really moved his price. Wendell Carter Jr. has missed the previous 2 games. That is not going to affect us at all here. We saw Mo Wagner play 33 and 21. I think we got to go. Let's see. Why did he play 21? That's the bigger question. So Orlando played on Tuesday. They lost by 11 to Milwaukee. Mo Wagner played 5 minutes in the second quarter, 8 in the first quarter. So he played 13 and a half. So he was on pace for 26. Never closed. They closed with Banchero at the 5. Yeah, they closed with Paolo Banchero at the 5. That's interesting to think about because you can clearly do that against Utah too. I'm going to say 26 minutes for Mo Wagner. And then his backup was Goga Batadze. I'm going to say Batadze gets 18. And then I'm going to say Paolo Banchero gets 4 minutes at the 5, at which point they went to Caleb Houston. Now that was because Gary Harris, I guess, was out. With Harris coming back, I don't think that we get Houston. I'm going to leave those minutes on Admiral Schofield. He's the easier guy to project like that. I don't have to change anything else for Fultz or Banchero or Franz or Gary Harris, who's back. Suggs can stay at 25. Cole Anthony can stay at 25. Maybe Cole Anthony and Suggs can go up. Yeah, I'm going to give one more minute to Cole Anthony, which isn't going to help me at all, but and Rates can stay. I'm very intrigued with Orlando here. This could be like a real tricky spot. I mean, they didn't close with Mo Wagner because the game was over. I mean, they were getting cracked. Like, they were down 10. No big deal there. It's a different matchup against Utah. So, Orlando. Yeah, thought so. Not as good as I thought it was going to be. Mo Wagner is up to 5,500. He's only 4,400 in power forward eligible on FanDuel. So, you're certainly playing a lot of Mo Wagner on the FanDuel side. I like Fultz the most for Orlando. $6,400 point guard. I think Franz at 6,200, Anthony and Harris all look fine for what they are. Mo Wagner, Jalen Suggs, both fine. Banchero at 7,900. Man, I thought I would get a little bit more, but that's just not happening. Still, lots to like on Orlando, but I think Fultz is your best option. For Utah, not much here. Walker Kessler is your best option, but he's like a secondary play at best. Really don't like Utah all that much. So now we're going to game 4. Golden State and Memphis. Warriors are 2-point favorites in Memphis, 235 total. What do we need to know here for Golden State? Kuminga's probable. Still no Wiggins. Looney's probable. No Peyton. Andre Iguodala is probable. So, looks like they finally got Anthony Lamb out of the rotation. Wonder why that was. Maybe there's a news story about it. So we got Steph in for 34. We've got Jordan Poole in for 29. DiVincenzo in for 31. Got 32. Make that 30. We got Clay in for 33. Make that 34. 24 for Looney. Maybe not. Kuminga in for 25. Draymond in for 31. We got Iggy in for 14. Now I'm missing one person. That's going to be JaMychal Green going in for, I don't want to give him 17 minutes. So 11. Now we'll go 12. Michael Green, 6 for Patrick Baldwin. Nope, 5 for Patrick Baldwin. It's going to be our Warriors. That's pretty easy. Then we go to Memphis. And how many people we got in this place right now? 127 people. If you're here, hit that like button. It would help me out tremendously. What do we know for the Grizz? We do know that they're going to be without Ja Morant. No surprises there. Still no Steven Adams. Q-tag on LaRavia. No Vince Williams. Shout out VCU. And Kennedy Chandler off the injury report. So not any major changes here for Memphis. We got 33 minutes for Tyus Jones. Feels right to me. We got 32 minutes for Desmond Bane. Going up to 33. Got Luke Kennard in for 26. Take that down to 24. We got 32 for Dylan Brooks. I can make that 31. Got 31 for Jaren Jackson. That can hold. 31 for Tillman. That can hold. 20 for Aldama. I make that 22. On Conchar can get a couple extra minutes. They can come at the expense of David Roddy. So let's get Conchar up to 20. Let's get Roddy down to 15. And I'll take like 4 more minutes. Let's do 10 to Roddy and 5 to Zaire Williams. No rate changes. This is the same team that we just had. Oh, another game in the books pretty quickly. These are actually... Oh, S&P, you missed that? Yeah. Not ideal. What do we got for the Grizz? Oh, wow. Okay, so this is the best team we've looked. This is the best team we've looked at. Bane at 8K. High level priority. Dylan Brooks, sort of the same. Tyus Jones, Jaren Jackson, Xavier Tillman, and $3,400 Luke Kennard are all very interesting. I gotta cut Kennard somehow. Yeah, that'll work a little bit better. Aldama looks interesting. Conchar is even interesting, but 8K Desmond Bain, you got to get to in everything you're doing, really. He looks so good as a pay up. But Brooks at 4,800. I mean, I would like to see the lower price tag, but he's just a different guy when these guys are around. Maybe I need to cut Brooks's minutes a little bit more and take him down to 30. Absolutely love the Memphis side. We're going to see them a lot when we run the crunches. And then for Golden State's like the opposite. Everybody sort of looks awesome for Memphis, and then everybody sort of looks just like meh for Golden State. There's not a single priority there. Look at that. Look at the value numbers. 4.4, 4.5, 4.6, 4.6, 4.6, 4.6. Like, okay, that's just wildly uninteresting. Blah. Golden State is blah. Go to Brooklyn. All right, S&P. I have no idea why this one's good. I don't know who's out. So what do we got? Oh, okay. Oh, man, I had no idea. The Brooklyn Nets are going to be without Spencer Dinwiddie, Cam Johnson, Nick Claxton, Royce O'Neal, and Ben Simmons. Oh, my God. Okay, well, let's try to figure out who's playing for Brooklyn today. I mean, holy shit. Oh, God, this is a real gem. All right, so man, I don't know who's playing for this team today. Jesus Christ. Okay. I'm guessing we get Nerlens Noel starting. So let's give Nerlens Noel 24 minutes. And I think we're going to have to get at least 20 minutes out of Day'Ron Sharpe. I mean, this has to be like a giant Cam Thomas day, doesn't it? I'm going to assume Edmund Sumner's starting. He hasn't played in ages. I legitimately don't know how to project this team right now. All right, well, let's get the guys that normally play in there. So Dorian Finney-Smith, I assume, is going to play like 30 minutes. And then Bridges is clearly going to play 36 minutes today. Let's get that in there. The next couple guys are all out that normally play. Seth Curry played 21 minutes on Tuesday. He basically has to play big minutes, right? Let's go 26 to Curry. Some of this is just going to be placeholder type stuff. We got 23 minutes out of Joe Harris on Tuesday. Let's say that he gets 24. I think that we got to get Cam Thomas, who played his way clean out of the rotation. I'm going to give him another 24. We'll start adding more on to some of these guys once we get to where we need to be. Patty Mills, I give him 16, and I give Watanabe 16. That's 9 guys. They have 1, 2, 3. God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they only have 10 guys, which is, I guess, helpful. So we got Noel, we got Day'Ron Sharpe, maybe some minutes for Yuta Watanabe. Who didn't I give minutes? Oh, Edmund Sumner. Okay. Do I think that this is the rotation? No, but those are the 10 guys that are going to play. Let's shift these chairs around. So I feel okay with the center minutes. You can quibble on them, and I wouldn't have any argument, but I feel okay with the center minutes. I feel okay-ish with Watanabe. I feel okay with Dorian Finney-Smith. I feel okay with Mikal Bridges. So then 24 for Joe Harris feels okay. think 26 for Seth Curry feels okay. 16 for Patty Mills, 24 for Sumner, 24 for Cam Thomas. 24 for Cam Thomas might be too low. But, I mean, they played him 7 minutes, and then took him out of the rotation. So it's not as if I feel confident that they're going to go there. But they have so little creation that I think he's live to play a lot more. There's just no way to be confident here. I'm taking a stab at this. I have to assume Seth Curry's playing more than Cam Thomas, but we're going to need to grab rates like as if this sample exists. All right. If I take Durant off and Kyrie off and Dinwiddie off, is there anybody else that like has to come off? I guess I'll take Ben Simmons off too. If all four of those guys are off, how many minutes have actually been played for Brooklyn? More than you would think. Okay, well that's a decent start. Mikal Bridges has played 54 minutes with all those guys off. He's got a 29% usage rate. I'm certainly bumping him up even further. Let's get all of these rates out of here. Cam Thomas in this scenario has a 30% usage rate. Bump him up a little bit. Dorian Finney-Smith has not really played without those guys, but he's also Dorian Finney-Smith, so that's fine. Edmund Sumner gets a little bit of a usage bump. Nerlens Noel has no sample, so we're not going to touch anything there. Seth Curry, 163 minutes, gets up to a 20% usage rate. We'll lock that in. Does anybody else just get like stupid usage? Patty Mills gets a bump. That's basically it. Man, this is stupid. This is incredibly stupid. You might be right, S&P. I don't think they're going to start Cam Thomas. I think they're more likely to start Sumner. Look, so we know they're definitely going to start Bridges, Finney-Smith, and one of Day'Ron Sharpe or Nerlens Noel. I mean, this is just a farce. Please don't tell me Milwaukee's doing dumb shit too. I don't want to see that. Okay, Drew's probable, Giannis probable, Crowder probable. No Wes Matthews, no Goran Dragic. So we actually don't have to worry too much about the Milwaukee side. We'll see what Brooklyn ends up looking like and if we need to make any tweaks. What time does that game tip? 8. Okay, so that's going to be really, really, really annoying. I don't think I have any major minute things that I need to change here. Although Middleton did get the start and play 30, so we got to get him up to 30 now. We'll say that those minutes come at the expense of someone. You need to cut 4 minutes. We're going 16-16 here. That's about as easy as it's going to get. 33 for Holiday is fine. 27 for Grayson Allen seems fine. I think we're okay here on Milwaukee. Like Giannis quite a bit at 11-9. Didn't expect to see that, but the spot against Brooklyn is grading out quite well. So I also have Giannis projected for number 61.2 divided by 33, 1.85 fantasy points per minute here. But let's look at Brooklyn. Now, using the assumptions that we have in for Brooklyn, you got to play a lot of Day'Ron Sharpe and Nerlens Noel. Day'Ron Sharpe's the better per minute guy. Even in 24 minutes, Cam Thomas looks great. So I think you could feel pretty safe getting to a bunch of Cam Thomas. Edmund Sumner looks good, but you have to assume he starts. That's where it starts to get a little tricky. I'm going to we're going to look at this one quickly. I'm going to take 2 minutes away from Sumner and give them to Joe Harris. That softens everything a little bit. But the goal here is to play basically everybody from the Nets, except for, at this point, Patty Mills and Yuta Watanabe. I think Day'Ron Sharpe is the best option here today, assuming he has to play. Because if he gets 20 minutes at flat 3K, he's the best play here. Really, Day'Ron Sharpe is my favorite guy from the Nets. And then best of luck to you on Curry, Thomas, Nerlens, Sumner. I certainly think that you can play Nerlens Noel and Day'Ron Sharpe together because of their prices. Bridges is fine, but he's the only one. Bridges is 8,500. The next closest guy is Cam Thomas at 4,600. Somehow Cam Thomas's salary is still 4,600, even though he got a DNP and basically has been out of the rotation for a week. Okay. And finally, we close this one out. New York Knicks, 4-point dogs in Sacramento, 225 total. If you're ever going to get to the Knicks, a matchup against Sacramento can probably help you out. What do we got here for the Knicks? Q tag on Jalen Brunson. I still got him in. He's missed the last two. Left foot soreness. I'm going to leave this rotation as it is with all the minutes that I had prior with the assumption that Brunson plays. So no changes for New York. We'll look at Sacramento. For the Kings, De'Aaron Fox is back. So that is the only change that we need to make here. So we go ahead and get Fox in for his 35 minutes. 13 go to Davion Mitchell. We get Matthew Dellavedova out of there. Kevin Huerter. Because I got to shave 4 minutes from somewhere. They're not coming from Trey Lyles. Certainly come from Terrence Davis. And I think that's just going to be it. I got to give 2 more minutes to Keegan Murray, it looks like. He's been playing a little bit more as of late. So let's get him up to 32. Take 1 away from Huerter. Get him down to 29. Take 1 away from Monk as well. Get him to 21. 34 for the Barnacle of the Bay will hold. 36 for Sabonis. I'm going to go 35 to Sabonis. 13 to Metu. Easy game. And then as we look at the Kings, my preferred option is Harrison Barnes, which means I have not changed the rates. Let us update rates for Sacramento now that they got their starting lineup back. So in games where all 5 guys start, Barnes, not Rashawn Holmes, Domantas Sabonis, Fox, Huerter, and Keegan Murray. Yeah, that Brooklyn game is quite difficult. So there's the rates. We get Fox in for 29.5. We get Sabonis in for 21.5. Harrison Barnes in for flat 17. Keegan Murray in for 16. Evan Huerter in for 19. And then Malik Monk for 25. So that really softens up Barnes. Barnes gets the usage bump when Fox isn't around. But for now, Sacramento doesn't look all that good, and that shouldn't be all that surprising because matchups against the Knicks aren't very good. For the Knicks, though, Mitchell Robinson, 5,600. If you want to go anywhere, I think that's probably the spot, playing 31 minutes a night. I don't see any real priorities in Randall, Brunson, or Hart. This is a game where, like, it's probably going to be necessary to have something, but there isn't really a priority. There's too many other, like, dumb spots. All right, folks, 160 of you here. We need to run some crunches. These are going to be just outwardly gross. So let's run some crunches. We'll start on the FanDuel side. Oh, man, this is brutal. All right, FanDuel Optimals. FanDuel Optimals, 317.06. Yeah, the Brunson news is very important. Will make some major changes for the Knicks. It's the optimal by 0.78. Yeah. Terry Rozier, Jalen Green, Cam Thomas, Franz Wagner, Giannis, Tari Eason, Marvin Bagley, Mo Wagner, Mark Williams. That's not how I thought that was going to shake out, but you do get to the pay up Giannis. That is, I don't mind most of this. I obviously have Franz higher than most people do, but has rebounded as of late. 6-game slate, so you're looking for like 36 fantasy points. Can get there. Let's look at the power rankings. If Franz ranks too highly in the power rankings... Oh, this is FanDuel, so I don't actually care about any of it. Sorry, FanDuel people. Yeah, no, I'd be surprised if they start Sharp over Noel. All right. Looking like it's going to be busy at the top. At the very least for FanDuel, we're not surprised by the names we see. It's Jalen Green, it's Terry Rozier, Cam Thomas, Mo Wagner, Marvin Bagley, top 5, Tillman, Mark Williams, Tari Eason, Franz Wagner, and then Jabari Smith round out the rest of the top 10. Now, finally, we close it out on DraftKings. This is where your guess is as good as mine. We're going to get to Giannis. I can see it in the projections now. I'll show it quickly when I paste it in. That's not how you paste it in. Let's try that again. Am I not pressing the right button? There we go. Giannis is projected for a little over 61. Next closest guy in projection is Tyrese Halliburton at 48. Giannis's raw point ceiling today is just on a completely different level. So he's going to end up in optimals by default today because there's just too big of a projection. So we get DraftKings optimals. Killian Hayes, 280.4. So it's the optimal by 0.27. Killian Hayes, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Xavier Tillman, Day'Ron Sharp, Desmond Bane, Giannis, Cam Thomas. Nothing surprising to me there at all. Bridgeline, I got destroyed. Yesterday was not a good day for 150 maxers. We mostly all got creamed. 500 lineups to be crunched for power rankings. What do we end up with? Looking like it's going to be Jalen Green at the top of the list for today, which I think makes a ton of sense. And then you get to this stack of Grizzlies and Nets. Jalen Green, number 1. Desmond Bane, Tyus Jones, Dylan Brooks, Seth Curry. Then Cam Thomas, Jaren Jackson, Terry Rozier, Markelle Fultz, and Killian Hayes. So, Tex, I'll give you one Yahoo for today. And then we're done. That's FanDuel scoring, right? I think. I can't remember. That's what we're going with. Doesn't matter all that much. All right, optimal on Yahoo. Terry Rozier, Desmond Bane, Mikal Bridges, Dylan Brooks, Tari Eason, Jaren Jackson, Alperen Şengün, and Xavier Tillman. And then if you want the power rankings, we have... Looks like Terry Rozier at the top. Jaren Jackson looking like he's going to be number 2. Ooh, could be Bridges. Looks like maybe... Oh, we're bouncing back and forth. It's Terry Rozier at the top for sure. Jaren Jackson, Mikal Bridges, Alperen Şengün, Marvin Bagley. And then Desmond Bane, Kelly Oubre, Cam Thomas, Franz Wagner, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Folks, we done here. It's a good one, right? We had some fun. put down another slate. 6 games up, 6 games down. I'm going to go get myself a coffee because life sucks without it, and I desperately want it. Thank you guys for joining me for today. We'll be back tomorrow, closing out the work week, final day of the week. We'll have a good slate tomorrow, and then I'll have contenders videos, prize picks video, no house advantage video coming out within the next couple hours. Then you get me for the deeper dive tonight with Adam. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you all. Hit that like button on your way out the door. This was The Process.